Other interesting political news, you have Cloward Piven strategy trending on social media, political change through destruction, and it seems to be happening now. Now, this is brought to us thanks to the good old profile on X Twitter known as End Wokeness. And they say, quote, "This is the Biden-Harris strategy." And it's a screenshot, and I believe this is from Wikipedia. And it says, quote, "The Cloward Piven strategy is a political strategy outlined in 1966 by American sociologist and political activist Richard Cloward and Francis Fox Piven. It is the strategy of forcing political change to societal collapse through orchestrated crises. The Cloward Piven strategy seeks to hasten the fall of capitalism by overloading the government bureaucracy with a flood of impossible demands, amassing massive unpayable national debt, and other methods such as unfettered immigration, thus pushing society into a crisis and economic collapse," unquote. Can't help but notice the US government has caused all of those things to happen, especially with the debt on the left and the right, printing more money than it's ever been printed before. One of the reasons we have ridiculous inflation also was it estimated, what was it, up to like 13 million people have illegally crossed the United States in the past 40 months. And again, depending on which statistic you're reading, where you get it from, it varies from 8 million to 15. But still, that's more than ever before. Also, a lot of them are violent, and I'm not saying majority of them, but we're seeing more and more of these anecdotal evidence of more of the crimes around those folks. And yeah, they seem to be pushing all of this. I mean, again, the U.S. has just passed $35 trillion in debt. 35 trillion. Let that sink in for a second there. That's ridiculous. I mean, in the end, we probably have to sell off some useless asset we don't really need, like, I don't know, like Hawaii. Only partially kidding. But we're not spending more, not on the debt, the interest to the debt, than the U.S. defense budget. And ever since I was a kid, people always cry about U.S. spending too much money, or what they would perceive as, oh, you're spending too much money on defense. When really, you can argue what's one of the few reasons the U.S. hasn't been invaded, and you could argue it is profitable if they export and sell the technology to the U.S. allied countries. But even then, they also bid it out, so it's not as bad as people think in terms of, you have competitive bids, but we're spending more on just the interest for the loan. That's not sustainable. And American people are already hurting when you go to the grocery store. People are already struggling to save. Most Americans don't have $1,000 in savings. And so you can't increase the taxes. They are being taxed to death. So I don't know where they think the money's going to come from. With economic theory, I would believe that the best way to actually increase tax revenue would be to decrease rules and regulations and flourish more of a business-friendly environment, have other companies bring their businesses headquarters to the United States, have the incentive to make more businesses in the United States. But when's the last time that happened? It's been decades since that's ever happened. Trump did it a lot, but there's still so much bureaucracy. I mean, just owning a small business is ridiculously difficult. It shouldn't be. There shouldn't be so much bureaucracy and red tape. And that is also, as a state thing, is also a federal thing. But yeah, I can't but think this Cloward Piven strategy seems to be exactly what's happening in the United States. Hey, if you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Speaking of, let's go to the comments here. And it went pretty well. I got 1.2 million views and 23. Thought I could get to 24,000 likes. 23,000 likes. One of the first ones comes from Elon Musk, simply saying, yeah, getting 4.8 thousand likes. One of the first comments also coming from Gunther Eagleman, saying, quote, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." And of course, it ain't fixed to break it. That's basically what they're doing, getting 294 likes. Yeah, Paul Zupa saying, "Crisis and economic collapse is exactly what the Biden-Harris has led America to," getting 86 likes. Planet of memes, although this time they did not have a meme, a little disappointed. Nevertheless, this alleged planet of memes says, "This is accurate. The establishment wants a collapse of capitalism," getting 82 likes. Crazy Moment says, "We must save democracy." It's a picture of Kamala, and it says, Democratic Party be like, "If you want to save democracy, you'll vote for this candidate we installed after lying to you about the incumbent's health to prevent a primary you could have participated in. Also, this candidate we selected was polling in single digits when she tried to become president in a fairer primary, so that's why we have to rig it for her. So go out there and save democracy." Getting 83. Let's make it 84, 86 likes, going up right before our eyes. Very good point. Again, she was simply pushed in while the other one was wheeled out. Let's see here. General TM says, never let a crisis go to waste. Democratic Party getting 42 likes. Bruce Ballow says, exactly right. I mentioned this to non-political people, and they don't believe me. It's happening, getting 45 likes. That's heartbreaking because ignorance is bliss, and it's going to affect them whether they like it or not, or whether they realize it or not. Well, soon they shall realize it. They should realize it every time they go to the grocery store. AKA says, yep, word for word, getting 41 likes. Junita Broderick says, so damn true, getting 97 likes. Someone has a picture of Kamala and Walls. It says, communism is on the ballot. Here's Walls 24, getting 8 likes. That's from Mama Bear 96. Let's see. JP says, both Milton Friedman and Thomas Sowell tore this agenda into pieces in the early 1980s. You can find it on YouTube, getting 9 likes. Let's see here. Jimmy says, spot on. Harris Walls in a nutshell, getting 9 likes. Memes on Libs says, why do they want a communist nation, getting 9 likes? I mean, pretty clear why, is because they want total control and total power. I don't think it's coincidence that when you look at people who cross party lines, or you look at people who go and participate in opponents or people who are different politically or culturally speaking, usually it's people on the right seeking out information on the left. You don't see the antithesis. You really don't, on average, you don't see the other way around. And yeah, it is fascinating to go. I'll go into Twitter spaces of people I follow. I remember Art Candy, which is a funny name, which is partially why I follow her, but she's very much a leftist. I've joined spaces that she's on, and everyone speaking is a far right or far leftist. And the very rare instances where someone joins and they do speak, and there's someone in the middle right, they're viscerally ostracized and made fun of. Maybe I'll speak up next time and see what the reaction is, but I can't help but predict it will probably be mostly negative. And they're not seeking out additional information. They just want to silence opposition and want to take total control. So it's mentally vacuous and rudimentary and evil. But yeah, it's quite concerning, but they just want power. Let's see. Sarah Rose simply says, bingo, getting 36 likes. So not a lot of contrarian statements here. I'm not too surprised by that in this particular case. And it's quite concerning. Because, again, this seems to be word for word exactly what's going on in the United States these days. And if I were to look at the Magic 8 Ball, I'd try to be a hopeless optimist. Well, shoot, being a small business owner, you kind of have to be. But when it comes to the culture and politics of the United States, I can't help but think if you're going to shake that old Magic 8 Ball, it might just say, Yalek is not so good. But let me know. Have you heard, and interestingly enough, have you ever heard of this particular political strategy? Do you think this really is just coming to light before our eyes? Let me know in the comments. As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.